let's talk about something I think we all feel. It's that frustrating cycle, that gap between the person we want to be and the person we actually are when life gets messy. We're going to break down why just trying harder almost always falls short and what the real key is to making a change that actually sticks.
You know the feeling, right? You wake up, you've got the best intentions. You tell yourself, okay, today's the day. Today, I'm going to be patient with everyone.
You're genuinely trying to walk in love, to do the right thing, to be kind when it's the last thing you feel like being. You are putting in the effort, consciously.
And then, bam, the pressure hits. The kids are going wild, you've got a deadline, someone cuts you off in traffic, and you just snap. All that effort evaporates in a second, and you're just left there feeling like a total failure.
And that's when the question hits you, right? Why is this so hard? Why do I keep messing up in the exact same ways over and over again? If you've ever asked that, trust me, you are in very, very good company.
So, what's our natural response to this? Well, most of us fall right into what I call the effort trap. See, we diagnose the problem all wrong, which, of course, leads us to a solution that never works.
This is the lie we tell ourselves, isn't it? Ugh, I just need more self-control. I need to be more disciplined. If I just grit my teeth and try harder next time, it'll be different. We're convinced that the secret to a godly life is just ramping up our human effort. But here's the wild part. When you actually look at the Bible, that's not the solution it gives, not at all. You can search the scriptures from cover to cover, and you will never, ever find that verse. It's a complete misunderstanding of how this whole thing is supposed to work.
So, if effort isn't the answer, what is?
Well, the Bible points to a totally different path, a completely different source of strength. It's all about faith over effort.
And I mean, look at the contrast. It couldn't be clearer. On one side, you've got the path of effort. It's fueled by you, by your willpower, and where does it lead? To burnout, to frustration, to feeling like a failure. But on the other side, you have the path of faith. And this isn't about trying harder. It's about plugging into a higher power. And that path is the one that leads to real, lasting change. And this right here, this is the actual principle. It's the foundation for everything. True, righteous living isn't sustained by our grit or determination. It's sustained by faith. Okay, so this is huge. We have to redefine what we even mean by faith in this conversation. It's not just mentally agreeing that something is true. Think of faith as the power cord. It is the active connection that plugs you into God's supernatural power. It's the channel that lets His strength become your strength. Now, if you're thinking, well, maybe this is for people who are just kind of weak, let's look at one of the heavyweights of the faith, the Apostle Peter. His story is basically a perfect case study of good intentions versus actual divine power. And you know what? Peter meant this with every ounce of his being. He loved Jesus. He'd seen the miracles. He'd walked on water for a second. His vow was totally sincere, based on the strength of his own love and his own commitment. But let's look at the anatomy of what happened. First, you have the vow, right? Born from pure human emotion and effort. Then the pressure hits, real pressure. Fear, chaos, accusations flying. And what happens next? The total collapse. His own strength was just no match for that moment, and he did the one thing he swore up and down he would never do. And right here, this is the diagnosis. This is so important to get. Peter's failure wasn't a love problem, it was a power problem. His human love, as real as it was, had zero supernatural ability to hold up under that kind of pressure. And that is the exact same boat we find ourselves in. So this brings us right to the heart of it all. If our own effort isn't enough, what is? What is this power that we need so badly? Let's get really specific about what it is and what it actually does. You see, life without this supernatural connection is just a constant struggle. You simply can't love people the way God does on your own. You can't consistently say no to sin. You can't stay stable when the world is spinning out of control. You might even look godly on the outside, but you're missing the very power that makes it real. Now, this is a really important distinction. God's power doesn't promise a life without pressure. It's not a magic wand that makes the storm go away. No, what it does is it acts like a stabilizer for your soul in the middle of the storm. It keeps you grounded so you can make the right choice, even when every feeling inside you is screaming to do the wrong thing. I mean, it's so simple, it's almost funny, but it's completely profound. We are called to be like God, to reflect his character. How on earth could we ever expect to be like God without God himself providing the power to be like him? It's impossible. So where does this power come from? It's not some vague cosmic energy. It's a person. The supernatural power to live this life comes from one source and one source alone, the Holy Spirit, who lives inside every believer. He is the game changer. So this all boils down to one critical question, and you have to be honest with yourself. Are you just trying to live godly, running on your own fumes in that try harder model? Or are you empowered to live godly, actively plugging into the divine power that's available to you? Because one road leads to endless frustration, and the other leads to real transformation. So if you forget everything else, remember this. Stop trying to solve a power problem with an effort solution. The answer isn't to try harder. The answer is to connect to a greater power. You don't need more effort, you need more power.